Are you in the market for a circuit probe tester that also come with the added benefit of a multimeter, an oscilloscope, and even a 5-volt reference? That's pretty important. Plus also injector pulsing. The V500 Pro by VDIAGTOOL might be one you want to take a look at. But before we take this out and begin testing this unit, I want to go, I'm a historian in nature. I love to understand where things come from and check the evolution of things out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a brief evolution of how they got to the V500 Pro. First of all, we're gonna put this nondescript box up here, open this up. This here is the V200. This was the first one here. And you can see it's just a basic probe tester, circuit tester. Comes with everything you need in here, the basics, the meter, tip, and power for that, which is pretty good. Okay, let's set that to the side. And now, after a while, they upgraded that to the V200 Pro. Now, let's take a look at, well, I'll tell you what they added here. Basically, it's nearly the same as the V200, except for they added a circuit breaker finder feature. Now, just for people who don't know, don't confuse a broken circuit with a short, because a short can be, say, short at the ground, but the circuit may not be broken, actually. So let's open this up and take a look. Now, if you noticed, this box here is a little bit bigger than the box on the V200. And obviously it's because the circuit breaker finder is here. It makes an audible noise when it detects a broken circuit. And we've also done a few upgrades here. If you take a look at the alligator clips here, this is the V200 Pro, this is the V200, so they upgraded that. So as we can see, they are really into upgrading their stuff here. And it may be a few more things, but those are the most obvious upgrades here. But now let's get to let's compare the V200. Let's just look at the front of the box first of all. First of all, you can see that the hardware, the screen here, and the buttons here have been upgraded from the Pro or the V200 Pro. Also, the alligator clips, based on this picture here, has also been upgraded amongst probably, I believe that the wiring is much more heavy duty and much more sturdy, and we're gonna check that out once we get inside. So with that said, if you really wanna help the channel out, there's going to be after watching this video, if you really want to buy this tool, there'll be a link down below in the pinned comment with the discount code, and you can pick that up, help the channel out, and also get a discount at the same time. So with that said, let's go ahead and open this guy here up again and see what exactly do we got here. And the big thing again is that once we open this up here and lay this box out here, oops, this is the actual blow molded case, and I do like it comes with a case. One thing I want to show you real quick, again, just to point this out again, it has an oscilloscope, 5-volt reference, and injector pulsing feature. So I'm going to test all three of these out. Now, all the other core features here, far as like the probe, resistor, multimeter, open circuit, breaker, mode switch, I'm not going to test those in this video because all you have to do is go back and watch my video on the V200 Pro. That video is popping up on the screen now. I will have this video linked in the description. And basically, if you watch that video and then watch this video here, or whichever order you want to watch, you're going to get the full story about what this tool has to offer. But today I just want to focus on the biggest advantages of being able to be out in the field and have an oscilloscope. Maybe it's not the best oscilloscope, but I definitely would think that it would be good enough to like let you know if signals are present, give you a basic waveform to let you know what is going on. And a 5-volt reference goes without saying. You can test 5-volt components with this thing. And injector pulsing, amazing. Now, injector pulsing is usually for the old style injectors, not the high pressure fuel injectors, but don't worry, I'll still use it on my high pressure fuel injectors to test it. I mean, you still do it just for demonstration, but you typically would test just regular, older just injectors with this here. All right, so let's move that box there. All right, let's go ahead and open this up and see exactly what we have on the inside here. What other goodies come in the box? All right. So first off, I can tell you that this cord is significantly more heavier duty than the old cord, which is good. That means it's for longevity, probably less likely to be, cut or damaged, that sort of thing. So that's amazing. These connectors here are very, very robust. So just giving you a quick overview of the actual physical hardware, the tools here. Take a look at the screen here. This is this guy here. Point that out here. This folds up 90 degrees. This is important. So say if you're trying to say test something straight down, like let me use my left hand here, straight down like this, but it's facing away and you got a face like this and you can't see exactly what it's doing. But you do have the option to flip this up, and when you're testing it, you could actually kind of get yourself in a position where you can see the screen, but if it was straight down, it'd be very hard to see that. So that's a huge upgrade actually. All right, so what else we got? We got the circuit finder. Again, check that video out I told you about earlier to see how this here works. Circuit breaker finder. Check this video out here. Check that video out. What else do we have here? Alligator clips. Wanted to point those out. Nice new alligator clips, very protected, so you don't have to worry about shorting something out by touching or something thereof, or hitting something in the engine bay, like a ground, like a block or body ground or something like that, whatever. You never know what could happen. That's pretty cool. And set these off to the side. Let's open up our little bag of oscilloscope goodies here. Now this is nice that they actually put this in here. We got here. Okay, we got piercing probes. Pretty cool. See how you use this. I've never used this style before, so I don't really know. I guess I'll figure out how they work here in a minute, but this has a piercing probe. Maybe you turn it. I don't know how to, I've never used this style here, so I don't really know how to use the piercing part on it. It looks like you may push this down. Oh yeah, push that down, yeah. Okay, got it. Then you pull that back, yeah. Okay, we'll take a look at those. Take a look at these little guys here later. We'll give you some extra fuses for the little fuse area right here, as you can see right here. Obviously got a probe, can't work without a probe. We got some banana clip style wires, the standard banana clips. Let's see here, some extra little cords for just connecting in various ways to probably connect to components. A banana clip that has an alligator clip on it. Amazing. Another banana style extension line. USB C to USB Type A cable. I think that's for updating this unit. They'll be updating this, so you can always get the latest version of the software. And they actually put one back probe in here. Pretty amazing. So there you have that. So now, the next thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna connect this and the V200 to the car. I just want to do just one last quick physical difference just in the menu. And then after that, we'll move on to testing this unit out. All right, so here's just a quick screen comparison just to show you the difference between the V200 Pro and the V500 Pro. We're gonna focus on this. I'm just quickly run through this. So really use the red button right here and it just toggles through. If you look up to the top of the screen, there are these 4 modes here, which is great. And you just push up to apply a positive voltage and down to push, to apply a negative voltage. And that's essentially it for this guy here. And that's amazing. And that's so much dramatically different than the V500 Pro. So in other words, you are really getting a serious upgrade from this V200 Pro to the V500 Pro. So in other words, the argument here, what I'm trying to make is that if you have a V200 Pro, you might want to consider taking a look at the V500 Pro, because while this here is a fantastic unit, the V500 Pro is definitely going to have more to offer here. So with that said, let's go ahead and set the V200 Pro down and focus on the menu from the V500 Pro. All right, so again, you can take this right here and fold this up and down at about any angle between 0 and 90 degrees, which is pretty good. All right, so now you got an escape key, an OK key, up, down, left, and right. And one other thing I'll just point out here is that on this unit, both units have a switch here. The one position is for the actual probe itself, and the two position is for the circuit finder feature. But again, watch the video that I've referenced in the beginning of the video to see how that open circuit finder will work. All right, so now let's get back to business here with this guy here. All right, so first off, we got the probe. You just scroll through them with the up and down key: probe, resistor, multimeter, component, oscilloscope, 5-volt, oscilloscope, a 5-volt reference, relay, injector, and then you have your settings on your menu here. I'm gonna try to hold this and get the best, I guess, color that I can here. So now if you go to probe, it's just obvious what it is. You're just gonna hit OK, like here, and you go into the probe setting, and you hit up, and that's pretty much it. So you're applying a voltage here. So really, this here is just saying that it's 12.6 volts is detecting from the battery here. And that's essentially it here. So you can go back and hit escape to back out of the probe section here. Okay. And next, if we go to resistor testing, okay, again, that's in the previous video. Multimeter testing. Again, I'm gonna just go into the menu just to show you what it looks like. Here, I guess that because there's no anything that it's not touching, I guess once you touch it to a resistor, it'll actually show something. The multimeter mode is just if you touch it to something, it'll tell you just how much voltage, and you could do voltage. Looks like resistance. I think that's diode testing. Probe in duty cycle, nice, and looks like amperage. Okay, that's interesting. Now I did not. Yeah, we may look at that. I don't know just yet, but let me just focus on the features that I want to talk about here, which is the oscilloscope, 5-volt, and the injector relay. So we go to oscilloscope mode. Let's see what it looks like. Hit OK. And vertical, I'm assuming they mean looking at it this way, and traverse, it will put it the long way. So let's just hit OK. Oh man, look at that. That's pretty amazing. Let me try to get this without too much light. But yeah, that's pretty amazing. I gotta say, I'm feeling that already. All right, we'll come back to that. I just want to go to the menu real quick, and then we'll come back to that. Hit escape. 5-volt reference here. So output voltage, set value. So I guess you could set this a little bit if you want it. Oh, so you can set it a little bit less if you want to do like less. So technically, you could do up 0. It says 0 to 5 volts. So there you go. And left goes 1 volt. Okay, so you can do toggle left and right just to do 1 volt, and then the up and down is more fine. It's more coarse and fine tuning of this here. All right, we'll come back and check that out. Component testing here. I'm assuming this is a 12-volt where you can, I don't quite know what it says, moment, latch, pulse, and setting, but let's just hit OK and see what happened. I guess this is just I guess you switch between, okay, yeah, so up, yeah, so I'm pushing down. Yeah, if you do down, it applies the negative voltage, and up, positive voltage. So, okay. Just hit back, so I guess it's saying, oh, I see. Moment is just like when you hold it down. You hold it, and it keeps the voltage applied. Once you let go, release, it releases that. But latch means if you hit it, it just turns it on, and you don't have to let off of it. And it's just holding it, to that voltage, and also holds it to the ground just like that. Pulse. Let's see what happened. You hit pulse here. Hit left to right, and then hit OK here. I'm trying to, let's see. Oh, if you hold it down, you see, you hear the pulsating? Okay, hold on. Yeah. Oh yeah, so it's pulsing okay, it's pulsing and letting you know which one you just pulse. See, look at that. It just must be pulsing it right now. So if you wanted to test a component out and had a pulse width to it, You can also pulse that and hit down, and you can press pulse the ground. Wow, that's amazing, I gotta say. All right, let's go to setting here. Setting says 18 amps here, so not sure, I guess you can change that. 17, 18 amps. So anyway, that's just a lot of stuff to look into. So as you can see, wow, this thing has some hidden features here. I hope I'm getting that good on the screen. Has some hidden features here that's pretty amazing. All right, so let's keep moving. We'll go down here to relay testing here. This is it's showing you the basic 4-pin and 5-pin relays here, and showing, oh man, that's amazing, because a lot of times I had to go keep looking up the schematic. I think it's pins 30 and 86 you want to hit to test it, I think, or something like that. I can't quite remember. Anyway, you can do a start test and even get help. Let's see what happens when you hit help. Oh, that's amazing. They actually give you the schematic. So this thing not only has features, but it even gives you some instruction in real time. So say if you was somewhere under the hood and you really wanted to use this thing and not waste a lot of time, boom, right here, it shows you how to do it if you're not familiar with it. Amazing, I gotta say. All right, oh wait a minute, let's hit help again, because you can scroll to the left and right here. Let's go, okay. Okay, so it's given some different ways you can do. That's the 4-pin, this here's the 5-pin. Okay. Okay, so it's showing like you take, yeah, so anyway, there you have that. So amazing stuff here. All right, so let's back out. Let's keep going. Hold on, keep hitting escape here. Injector testing. Wow, now this is amazing. 200, okay, so you get 250 milliseconds of positive, press OK. Then you get 7 milliseconds plus then 20 milliseconds, and repeat this cycle for 1.4 seconds. So that's amazing. Continuously 7 plus 20 milliseconds. Okay. And you get 4 milliseconds and then 10 milliseconds of the cycle, repeat the cycle for 1.4 seconds. Wow. All right. So not only is it just a pulse, an injector pulse, it actually has multiple modes for it. There's something to be said for that. And I will say this, I'll just pause right quick and say this here. VDIAG, and I'm not saying this because they sent me the tool, because I swear I get a lot of stuff and I do not entertain the idea of it, not because I think necessarily something wrong with it. It's just that I know this brand, right here, VDIAG, I've tested their scan tools, I've tested multiple circuit probes, and everything meets a minimum level and exceeds a level of quality. And this just goes to show you right here that they actually are trying to give you the tools you need if you're in the automotive industry here. So not trying to really, they didn't tell me to say that. This is just my opinion here. And the proof is in the pudding that you can see right here on the screen. But now we are going to go ahead and put some of this stuff here to the test. So guys, let me get set up here and I'll be right back. All right, guys, now we're set up for the injector testing here. Again, I'm using a high pressure fuel injector here. This is probably not the ideal case, but it will work for this demonstration here. Now, let me show you the setup. It looks a little janky. That's just because I just used what I had really quickly just to get this video going. But really all you're gonna do is you're gonna use the positive, you're gonna use the tip, which I'm just running through this red cord right here that's connected to the green cord is running into the positive side of the injector. And right here, this black line right here is the auxiliary ground coming out of the unit, and that's going to be connected all the way through here and going up to an alligator clip inside of this injector here. All right. So let me hold this up carefully. I'm going to get this close to the screen so you guys can see how this works. So basically, you hook one to one side of it. I'm going to hold it kind of like this way right here so it won't touch it on the inside. You'll hook the positive side to one side, the negative side to the other side, and then you would turn, let me see if I can get this into focus here. Then you would get this right here. So let's start with number one. See here. Okay, it's not, oh yeah, no, it is touching. You hear that? It's just a quarter of 250 milliseconds is a quarter of a second. So that's why you're gonna hear that one little click. All right, so now let's go over to M2. Check this out. Now we hit OK. Very nice. Okay, then we hit M3. See different levels of it? Amazing. Okay, then go to M4. This is going to be a little slower here. So you have different different frequencies, I guess if you will, to test your injectors out. So that's pretty amazing. So anyway, if you have injector issues, if you're out in the field, you can use this thing right here to test them in the vehicle or pull them out and test them on the bench top or however you want to do it. So I am really impressed by this feature here. And it also makes it so you don't have to have a separate tool to do this test right here. So you would probably could use this in conjunction with a fuel pressure test as well. So if you're into that, this right here would just make you have a probe out, multimeter, oscilloscope, and an injector tester all in one unit. All right, guys, so we're back here with the multimeter setup. And what we're going to do is we're going to test out this 5 voltage output. So here we got the red line running from here. And we're going to actually plug this up to the multimeter here in just a second. And then we got the common ground coming from the unit running into the ground of the multimeter. So again, going back here to the main menu here. Let me zoom this in just a bit here. So that way I can get a good picture, right? So you can kind of see what's going on in the background here at the same time. So we can see what's going on here. Get a little bit here. There we go. That'll be good enough for you can see. So anyway, we're going to go into the... let's see here. Get this to focus here. Can we get it to focus? Come on now. There we go. That's good enough. All right, so we should still be able to see the background back there good enough. All right, so we go into the 5 voltage, and right now it says putting out about 5 volts. So let's go ahead and plug this up to the multimeter here. And indeed, it's putting out 5 volts, as you see back there in the back. So the thing you want, and the reason why I'm demonstrating this, I'm not going to hook it up to my car. I don't have a really necessarily a component to test the 5 volts. But the thing is that you don't have to worry about putting this on your car to connect it to test a component, that needs 5 volts and accidentally putting in, or not accidentally, but the unit actually putting out 12 volts versus 5 and it burn up your component. In this case, it's putting out 5 as advertised. So let's go ahead and scroll through some of the voltages here. So we go down just by 0.10, it goes down. If we look, see if we can get that a little bit better there. Yeah, as you can see, 4.9, 4.8, 4.7. Let's go down by a whole unit here. 3.7, looking good. Let's see, 2.7. Let's go all the way down to the lowest. It'll go 0.5 volts, and we get about 0.57, which is, I think, within reason. A little bit more than 10% over, but not too much. All right, so let's see. Let's go back to 5 volts again. And again, it's putting out 5 volts just as you'd expect, no problemo. And so when you touch this to a component that requires 5 volts, you can be confident to know that you are going to be putting 5 volts to that component and not 12. So therefore, this feature right here has made this much more valuable, made this unit much more valuable because, again, in some cases you got to have an extra probe tip to put out 5 volts. But in this case, it's built right into the unit, and based on the gold standard of a Fluke multimeter, it is in fact putting out the voltages that it's saying it's putting out. So with that said, the 5 volt, 0 to 5 volt reference works fantastic as it should, and you shouldn't be afraid to use it. All right, guys, it's time to do a little bit of the oscilloscope testing here. I'm going to set up 2 tests. The first test we're going to test is the CAN bus network. Of course, this is only 1 channel, so you can check 1 at a time. And also, we're going to check a component under the hood. So as you can see, I got my breakout box here, and it's conveniently has, fits banana leads, and you can just plug those right in. So if we go here to the oscilloscope and just hit OK, it's going to ask you about, do you want a vertical or transverse? In this case, obviously, the transverse is going to give us much more landscape. And hit OK, and I'll just orient you in what I see here. So again, as you can see, at the bottom, you're going to have division, the max, the min, time base, your frequency when that comes up in the duty cycle. The voltages, I think it goes up to, let's see, goes up to 50, I believe. You might could use this with an attenuator, but anything you would need to attenuate an attenuator with might just be too fast on this in real time anyway. So, but yeah, I'll explore that later and just push it, make a video just on putting this to the limits, because I think that just to get you to show proof of concept and show how well this works, we're just going to take some easy tests here. That really makes sense. All right, so we're going to go back down. Let's just put it back on to start out with 12 or 10. Well, let's just put it on 15. All right, and so what we're going to do is the setup is that we already got the ground plugged in here. And we're just going to go ahead and plug into the CAN low line here. And I'm going to turn on my lights in my car to make the network come on. As you can see, we got a signal. Look at that. Let's turn the scale down. So look at that. Turn it down. It goes down to 5 volts minimum. That's a CAN bus. It's not the cleanest one, obviously, but hey, this oscilloscope is letting you know that you have a signal. The minimum is the maximum is 2.4 volts, so that's what you'd expect. Okay, so I think that's pretty awesome there. And that's the CAN low. Let's switch over to the CAN high real quick. So the CAN high, take a look at that. We're getting a maximum of about 4 volts here, and a minimum of about 1.6. So if you subtract that 1.6 from that, and then you add those together. So basically the voltage bias should be a total spread of 5 volts. And that is the case if you take the minimum and the maximum and you kind of do a little math there, you can imagine that it is about a 5 volt spread there. The division, let's see, we go down in milliseconds here. Sorry about the beep in there, but if we go down, we can make it a little cleaner. I mean, we go up, well, not the voltage, sorry. Let's see here. We can make that go a little bit faster, so we go up in the time base. Take a look at that. That's pretty awesome. I'm just trying to. So anyways, you can see that's a pretty clean, look at that. That's a pretty nice, pretty decent looking CAN bus system here. Let's go back to the low again, since I got that already set. Yeah, basically, you're knowing that you have a CAN bus signal. Now, it's obviously limited to to a single channel, but hey, this is enough information to let you know, is my CAN network down, okay? And does it look reasonable? Just based on my experience of working with the CAN network, I would say that this right here at least would tell me 2 things. I got a signal and it looks reasonable. Do I need to investigate further? Probably, but at least you know that those 2 things are working as expected. So, all right, let me go set up. We're gonna jump under the hood and we are going to back probe a component with this oscilloscope. All right, guys, so I got my car running here, and what I want to see now is just how well they can do a frequency waveform. So we're gonna test out this mass airflow sensor right here. I've already got the line to the oscilloscope set up here. It's already connected here and at the negative part over here. So let's go ahead and back probe this. Let me back up a little bit here. I'm gonna back probe this a little bit so you guys can see what's going on here. Put that right there. Let me see if I want to get a little closer so I can kind of see in real time what's going to happen. Put this right here to this signal wire here. And look at that. Nice frequency waveform here. Take a look at that. Let's turn the voltage down a bit. No, that's the time base, sorry. Turn the voltage down. Look at that nice clean signal here. Let's turn it, look at that. Uh-oh. That's again, that's all you need to see. Basically, hold on, let me get this back into focus here. Let me redo everything all over. So yeah, go back down, that's the time base, and see how you can switch that time base up and change the width of those frequencies. And you can also use the voltage to change those as well. Again, look at that, that's pretty amazing. That's all you need to see right there. Because say if you're just saying, hey, is my mass airflow sensor working? Yes, it is. And also because this thing has duty cycles and things like this, you can say, for example, connect it to like an air conditioning compressor to see if the duty cycles to as it should be. So therefore, you can test whether that component is going bad as well. I'm going to do another video on this unit here. Let me get this back into focus here if I can. I'm going to do another video on this unit here with the oscilloscope, and because I want to test it, I'm going to stress test it a little bit. I don't expect it to be as good as a standalone scope, but as you can see, that you are able to test components and you can say, hey, is this working? Am I seeing the right waveform? And is it within the right voltage range? That's very important. So with that said, guys, this has been the VDIAG V500 Pro, Power Pro circuit breaker finder, oscilloscope, injector tester, and 5-volt reference included on top of all of that. If you're in the market for something like this, man, this here is exactly amazing. So let's go back. Let's just look at the vertical just for oh yeah, look at that. Even the vertical looks pretty good. I mean, that's all you need to see. You don't really even need to change it. This is the vertical waveform here in the vertical part of the screen. So anyway, if you guys are in the market for such a tool, this tool gets my recommendation. I'm familiar with this brand. I'm familiar with their scan tools. I'm familiar with their probes, and I trust them. And I trust them to keep updating their equipment and improving upon it as well. So with that said, guys, take care. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.